Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm interviewing Antonio Cucciniello. And Antonio, thank you so much for coming here today.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Telmo. I'm really excited to see all you guys and talk to all of you.
All right, Antonio, do you want to just like talk a little bit about yourself, telling people like who you are, what you do?
Yeah, sure. I'm in the United States. I'm what I call myself an action coach. I help people take action towards their goals, whether they're struggling to start or stay consistent. That's normally where I like to help people. Also, I'm a software developer too, so it works out well for the channel.
Oh,
So,
wow! I actually didn't know about these. That you were a software
uh,
developer. This was actually one of my questions that I wanted to ask you, like what you do like before or something. But
uh,
wow, that's cool. I didn't know that you were a software developer as well.
yeah. I
So
develop on Alexa and Google Assistant and Facebook Messenger, so chatbot developer.
right, that's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool. So how did you actually like got started as an action coach, if you want to call it that way? How did you like get started with this?
Yeah, so it goes back to like when I was younger. I really thought life was this thing that we didn't have control over. It was like I was put in this body, I was put in this uh, state of mind, and emotions had control over me. I was meant to be this overweight, shy,
Hmm.
chubby kid that, would never be successful because I believed that this was the way the world was. Then around when I'm like 17, I think I was shopping at a shop, right? And I picked up a men's health magazine. And in the men's health magazine, they had a picture of a guy with an 8 pack on the cover and saying like 8 pack in a few days, right? And I'm just like, for me, I was like, whoa, this is possible. Like you can change the way you look. Like I had no idea. Like I
Hmm.
knew people worked out, but I didn't know you had that much in your control. So I started picking up the Men's Health magazine. I started doing the workouts. That summer, I lost like 20, 25 pounds. And I'm realizing now that I have, some control over my destiny, some control over my life. And the next thing I do is I'm definitely afraid to like talk to girls, and I go to an all boys school, and then the year after this, I go to college, and I'm thrown straight into the fire where I'm living in the dorm with girls. I see girls on campus, and through taking action by going up and talking to them, by trying to be friends with all of them, I've now have killed my fear of talking to girls. So I'm starting to realize this trend throughout my entire life that by taking action and doing something about my situation over the long term, I can change my future. My
But
future
how,
isn't
how
determined.
did you actually did it? Because if you were just like telling us now that you were all the time like shy and everything, and you were just like insecure, like you were saying. All of a sudden, like you were in a school that was just like boys. You moved to you moved to a place that where is girls everywhere, and all of a sudden you just start talking to them like out of nothing. What came to your mind? Like it was like some of your friends or colleagues trying to challenge you, or it was just like you challenging yourself. What was it?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So back in like elementary school and middle school, I'm like the only thing I can do with girls is pass notes with them. Like I can't even talk to them in real life. In high school, I graduated to being able to talk to girls in public with other friends around, but never alone. I would never talk to them alone. Then in college, I was forced into the situation. I was alone by
Hmm.
myself. I didn't know any friends. I went there without anyone knowing prior to this, so I was forced to make friends. I was
Hmm.
forced to be around people. In the hallways, I have to see girls. So it started with me just saying hi to them. I take one small step outside of my comfort zone that is a little bit uncomfortable, but just enough that expands my comfort zone a little bit. Then the next thing I do is, I have a conversation with one of them in the hallway. And from the conversation in the hallway, they like me as a human being. So they're like, hey, you should come over one time and we'll like all hang out, me and a couple of my other girlfriends. Now I'm in a room with 3 or 4 girls, a couple of guys, and we're all like talking, and I'm having one-on-one conversations with girls. It's the little progress. It wasn't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I just went from the shy person all of a sudden to, this crazy outgoing person. Um, and so it was the small steps of going outside of my comfort zone that allowed me to keep making progress. I would have never been able to go from passing notes to girls to going to a one-on-one date with a girl where I would, potentially be able to make a move. I would be too scared to that. But I had to work my way up to
Hmm.
something like that over years. And that's what I try to preach, is that taking action over the long term can get you to where you want to go, but you got to do something about it.
Yeah, this actually like step by step was also giving you some kind of confidence, giving you like a boost of confidence. So, okay, I could overcome this, so now actually maybe I can get better and better and get more confident, like you said.
Yeah, each step gave me a little bit of momentum, and confidence was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I really can do this. I really can do this." And it, like I said, it all started back to when I lost the weight, because
Hmm.
for me that was something that I was afraid to like take my shirt off when I would go to the beach. I was afraid to do any of that, but being able to take control of the situation by doing something about it allowed me to have more confidence, more momentum, more motivation to keep going and see, wow, I could really do so much more.
Hmm. Cool. So
Um,
so basically you were doing like all this stuff and you were getting more and more confident yourself. When was like the point that you felt like wow, you felt something like this is working like really great for me and I can help other people, or when was like the time that you decided now okay I need to start helping other people, or I'm getting good at this, or you were just giving advices to your friends? What was it? And people, they were just like enjoying what you were telling them or helping them?
no, yeah, that's a great point. So from in the college time, this is when I start. Right before I went to college, I read Think and Grow Rich for the first time. That book is what changed my life dramatically, because it talks about how you can change your future by visualizing and
Hmm.
thinking, and that changes your actions, which will help change your future. So I read that once in at the end of high school. Then in college, I read it. At the end of college, I read it again. Um, and the second time I read it, I'm about to graduate. I'm going to start my first job, and all yeah, I was really thinking like, is this what my future is going to be? So when I start my first job, I I never so to give you a background, I never read more than like 2 books my entire life. I hated reading with a passion, and I struggled with English class my entire life because Italian's my first language, and I didn't like reading, so I didn't want to improve. But I read 25 books that year, all on self-help topics. At the same time, I was watching people on YouTube here on self-help. So I was constantly learning, constantly absorbing all this information. While at the same time, at my first job, all the developers were super negative. Everyone was negative. They were walking around like we were saying before. They were walking around with like their heads down. They were talking about how they know everything but not willing to do anything.
Yeah.
And so that really bothered me. And I left that job, and I was on the pursuit to try to turn into a web developer from what my previous job was.
So what you
And
were doing before?
I was doing iris detection technology. I was writing in C++
Hmm.
and MATLAB. Um, so halfway through my job search, it's like 7 months after I quit my first job, my brother um, got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and it hit my family really hard. My family all of a sudden became negative. And that day that we got that news, something clicked in my head, and I said, my family right now is being super negative. They don't understand that they can change the way they think
Hmm.
by trying to do something about the situation rather than feeling helpless, rather than not being able to do something about what seems to be something that's out of their control. They can really control it.
Yeah.
So that was the day I took my dad's camera, because I heard that you're supposed to have a camera and I didn't have a camera at that time. I took his camera. I set up in my parents' backyard. It was a weird warm day in February in New Jersey, normally not warm, and I just started recording on a book that I was reading, talking about that. So that's kind of like how I started down this journey, and it's slowly been evolving to the action coach, helping me realize that this is the area in which I could help people the most.
Hmm.
Although I love personal growth as a whole, this is the one area that I think I could help people the most.
So you started, as you say, you started like to record with a camera yourself. What was like your thinking? What you were thinking about? Like, I'm gonna start shooting these videos so I can document myself, how I'm progressing, or I just want to shoot these videos to try to help other people. Like, this is like an experience that I had, and I overcome this problem or something. Let me try to give my opinion to people to see if it can help someone, or what
Mhm.
was it?
So like I said, it was more like an emotional decision in the moment,
Hmm.
because I was so bothered by what was happening, and I knew that this was a problem that I had to help people with. So I didn't know what to do other than I picked up the book that I was reading at the time, which was the 10x Rule by Grant Cardone, and I just started going through the chapter and talking about different things that were happening, and I gave my opinion on them.
Hmm.
So I did that for a few books. I think I made like 270 videos, where I slowly got a little bit better. If you go back and watch that first video, I was so bad. You could barely even hear me. Um, but then, over time, I started realizing that, you know, maybe people don't want to just hear about the books. They want to hear about my personal experiences. So I started transitioning over to talking about things that happened in my life, and how I get past them. What do I do? The things that I learned along the way, because I make mistakes just like anyone else,
Hmm.
right? And I figured that helping people, giving them a lens into my life, and seeing how they can learn from me, can help save them time down the road.
Hmm. So what you were just like you already mentioned a couple of names in here, like Grant Cardone, really popular here on YouTube everywhere. John
Mhm.
Mays, like what was like some of the most influencer people that actually like motivated you to pursue your career now?
Oh yeah. Okay. So John Sonmez is a huge one. Um, I used to watch him every day. Evan Carmichael's YouTube channel is I get some inspiration from him, but I really like the combinations he does, where by pulling the clips from all these famous people.
Hmm.
Um, Patrick Bet David. I'm not sure if you're familiar with his channel, Valuetainment.
Oh yeah, I know. He stopped for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, he had stopped at a certain point, then he kicked it back up. Um, Who else? So Grant Cardone is a great one, because he's all about doubling down,
That guy is awesome. Johnson Mez is trying all the time to do an interview with him, but he still didn't get it.
Yeah, I know. I want him to, because he's a great guy. Both of
Yeah.
them are great guys, and they should finally talk. But Grant Cardone is probably too busy doing some real estate deal somewhere or something like that. Um, Napoleon Hill, who I read, who potentially started the whole self-help movement from Think and Grow Rich. That book really
Hmm.
changed my life, so I have to give a lot of credit to him. Um, Ryan Holiday,
Hmm.
Ryan Holiday, the author of Obstacles Away.
Hmm. Yeah.
That book, very, very powerful. All about the stoic mindset, but helps you overcome challenges in your life. Um, Let's see. I have a long list of people I could keep going on. They've all influenced me in some way, shape. Um, that's all that's coming to me right now. I If I went down my YouTube channel, I'd tell you I
You
could
probably,
find.
but you already said like most of them, the most important ones at least. But yeah, so definitely, if some of our viewers in here they don't know about them, they could just like check them out. And I'm gonna put some links in here in the description anyway. If
Yeah.
you guys should check out, by the way, Antonio's channel, because I'm gonna put it in here in the description, first link, so you guys can have a look as well. But one of the next questions I would actually wanted to ask you is, when you were just like on your path to become like an action coach, and you were realizing that you actually need to take some action and everything. What was like one of the biggest things that was holding you back on your progress, and how did you overcome it? It could be fear, it could be procrastination. What do you think it was for you?
hmm So there's always fear, right? The fear is always going to be there when you're doing something new. For me, I'm a developer, and I'm transitioning over to being the action coach, and that transition involves me completely changing fields. So in this transition, I've had to learn so many different things. Like, I know nothing about branding. I know absolutely nothing about marketing. I know nothing about sales. And before this, I knew how to sit behind a computer and code, no problem. Um, but the challenge now is for me to go from behind the computer and not being open and honest with people, more just, I just need to communicate with my computer. And now I need to communicate with people across the world on how I'm feeling. And I, from a young age, was never open about my feelings. And this is still something that I struggle and I'm growing with.
Mhm.
Um, and it was taking, again, the best cure for overcoming any problem is doing something small every day, slightly above what you did the day before. So, for example, when I first started the YouTube channel, I did not want to talk about myself at all. All I did was talk in very general terms. I read the book and I gave my general opinion. So if you listen to the old videos, you'd probably be like, what is he even saying? I can't relate because it's so general, right?
Mhm.
Then I started talking. I gave like one or two examples, and it happened to me in real life, but only small examples without using names. So that was one step above what I did before. Then I started giving names and actually talking about certain things.
Like
And
slowly
now,
progressing, yeah.
yeah. And now I'm at the point where I'm describing my emotions and talking about things that, I didn't even, that just happened to me, that I wouldn't have told anyone ever. Not
Hmm.
even, my girlfriend or my best friends or my family, all these people I would have never told this situation. Now I'm online talking about it. And it has made me a more open and honest person and been able to help me communicate my emotions and problems that I have. So that's something that is constantly expanding because it was always a weakness for me.
Yeah, I guess it's true, because we are all the time, when we want to like to really talk about our emotions or something. There is all the time like this kind of fear about what other people are gonna say, what they are gonna react, and sometimes we just think too much about what other people think about us, and basically this is like controlling our lives, like you were saying, and. Yeah, this is it's good that you are just talking about this topic, because there's a lot of people that their life is just like controlled by this.
They blame it on the government, or they blame it on uh, the person who cut them off in the car on the way to work in the morning, or they blame it on either their spouse or their friend. They never take responsibility by trying to do something. I try to tell people that in every problem that you're facing, it's at least partially your fault and the other
Mm-hmm.
person's fault. Whether it's 0.001% your fault, do what you can to make sure that 0.001% is fixed,
Mm-hmm.
and then worry about the other
Yeah.
99% that's not your fault. But if that's the case, you have to cover your base first before you try to go ahead and
Yeah.
try to do something outside of your ability to control.
So what you think is like nowadays you as an action coach with the people that you are helping and talking about like as a general thing, what's like the biggest reason now for people not to achieve their goals? It's like the majority of people are just like procrastinating, like, oh, I'll leave this for tomorrow. I'll leave this. Even talking about the situation that we are getting now to the new years almost. And lots of people they say that, oh, I'm gonna look for a new job in the when the new year is gonna start, or I'm gonna start my diet, or I'm gonna become a better developer, I'm gonna study more stuff next year. Now let me just relax a bit. Well, what do you think? What's holding people back?
Uh, there's a lot of things holding people back, and it's specific to their situation. But there's a couple of general things. One thing is the fear of success. Like, I know it's shocking that you think you'd be scared of success,
Mm-hmm.
but when you get some level of success, there's a certain responsibility, right? For example, if you are a developer and you want to become a better developer, right? Let's say maybe you're a junior developer and you want to get to the level where you're a senior developer. That takes work, that takes effort, that takes learning, that takes hours that you're not going to get paid for in order to get better at
Yeah.
it. So it takes work to get there. And then once you're there, in order to maintain that position, you have to now work harder than you did now. So even though you get to that level of success, you still need to work hard.
Yeah.
Similar example with the gym. People in the New Year's resolutions. Every January I go to the gym and I see the first couple days, January 2nd, the gym is packed. I can't get a squat rack, I can't get a bench. The next day, it's still really packed. The day after that, it's packed more than it was before, but not nearly as packed. Give it a week, all those people are gone.
Yeah.
Why? Because they aren't really motivated. You can't use something you can't just pick a random date and say, I'm going to start then.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you start is because you're so fed up about a situation. And I got this from Tony Robbins. I'm not no one magical. You're so fed up about a situation that you have to do something about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
These people aren't necessarily motivated to do that thing that they want to do. So they'll put it off into the future so they can keep eating like crap, so they can keep not working out. And then they'll pick that arbitrary day, they'll start it, and then they'll realize they have no real reason why they're working out, no motivating reason that gets them up in the morning.
Yeah,
So
this is actually like a good point that you are mentioning in here. It's just like there is like a really funny thing with motivation. It's just like people they just say, for example, oh, now I'm motivated to go to the gym to lose some weight or whatever, and after 1 week they just like it's gone. It's either it's gone is the motivation, or it's just because people they don't want it bad enough, or they just need someone to help them, or how is it? Because people they just get lost. Oh, now I'm gonna lose weight, but oh, now I don't want it anymore. It's just because people they don't want it, or what's that?
yeah, so they want it, but they don't want it one bad enough and don't have a compelling reason why to keep them going.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a noise upstairs. I was so confused. So sorry about that. Yeah, they don't have a compelling reason why. So for me, right, when I was younger, I was getting bullied for being overweight. And the thing that got me to help me lose weight was the knowledge I learned from that Men's Health magazine that I picked up that day,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that I had this pain from people bullying me, and I would look back at myself when I thought, oh, I don't want to work out today. I would say to myself, no, you're going to work out because you don't want to ever feel like that again.
Yeah.
I use that negative pain as motivation
Hmm.
because people are loss averse. So I'm afraid of ever going back to that situation again, and that helps me go to the gym every morning at 5:30. Whereas most people, they just, they're comfortable, they have a job, they're making enough money where they're okay, and they're not necessarily super motivated to go get a six pack or go build
Hmm.
muscle or go tone up, whatever their goal is. They're not super motivated because they're comfortable. Their life is okay.
Hmm.
Until you build something into your life that removes that comfort, they're not gonna move. They're not gonna change. So that you need a real reason why, right? If the doctor called you tomorrow and said, you're gonna die in 3 months if you don't start going to the gym and eating healthy,
Yeah. Yeah.
90% of people are gonna start working out right away. They're gonna go to the gym, sign up, and start working out because they don't want to die.
Yeah.
There's a compelling reason why. You understand now?
Yeah.
If you have no compelling reason why, like just deciding to start a New Year's resolution is not enough. You
Yeah.
need a deep reason why if you're gonna do it over the long term.
Yeah. This was actually leading to my next question, and it was just like, people they have their goals, and their goals they just like disappear because they don't take any action or anything. What kind of advice would you give to people, because not everyone has someone like you next to them every day, like pushing them, like, come on, you have to do this or something. What would be something like you could advise to people, like, you could do this step every day or something to help you keep going, keep your momentum? You would say, you need a reason, but
Mhm.
other than the reason, is there like something else that could actually help people, just keep the momentum, keep going or something?
Yeah, so I would do if you have zero reasons why, and
You
I
could have
hope.
a reason, but maybe it's not like strong enough, like to
Mhm.
just keep you going, because some people just giving this example of losing weight, some people they might want to lose weight, but they don't really want it, like,
Mhm.
oh, I have this, but I would like to lose weight, but the motivation, that it just goes. Now I'm motivated, but tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. What's like something that could actually hold people accountable, or something like to help them go a little bit every day?
Yeah, sure. So my best tip to start when you don't want to start is to make the thing so small that it's so easy to do. So if you've never gone to the gym before, just start the habit of walking for 5 minutes a day. And if you can walk for 5 minutes a day for a week, then like 5 minutes is so small that you don't really have to think about it. Everyone has 5 minutes somewhere in their day. Even
Hmm.
Elon Musk does. So if you can do now, add 1 minute the week after that, do 6 minutes, and slowly make progress. The mind doesn't necessarily notice gradual changes. So if
Hmm.
you start small enough where it's not too far out of your comfort zone, it's just a little bit out of your comfort zone, you can convince yourself to do it, and then keep raising the bar slightly once you get used to that old habit.
Hmm.
So now you'll have the habit of walking for a little bit. And
Hmm.
then after you've gotten to like 10, 15 minutes of walking, add in 5 push-ups. If you
Hmm.
can do 5 push-ups, then you can do 6, then you can do 7, then you can do 8, then you can do 9. If you can do 10 push-ups, then you can start bench pressing in the gym a 45-pound weight for 10 reps. So
Hmm.
it slowly work your way up. Most people, like the New Year's resolution people, will go from not working out for the last 6 months and be like, I'm going to start this workout routine where I'm working out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
and I'm going to
Yeah.
work out for an hour and a half. So their mind is, their self image deep down inside is like, who is this person? I'm not this person. I don't go to the gym. Why am I going to the gym? So
Exactly.
if your self image doesn't match the outside, then you're not going to be able to do it. So the one thing you can do to start right away is to just, break it down into something small that you can handle. Otherwise, then you're gonna give up.
Yeah, I guess you really touched the point in there. Is that we could actually even apply these for our area in here of web development, software development. There is like many people, especially the ones that probably are going to watch this, that they are trying to get into web development, like or software development. They don't know how to code, and they are trying to do it a little bit or all at once in a day,
Mhm.
and then they can't do anything. They get lost, they get demotivated. And basically we could apply the same steps like you were saying in there about going to the gym and not starting everything at once but slowly, so for people actually to get some results.
No, yeah, I could actually talk about this because I think I wrote a blog post on this topic, learning as a developer. But so start with, if you know absolutely nothing about programming and you want to be a web developer, right? You have to just go ahead and start learning the basics and apply it right away. So I would work all the way down to a Hello World application. So let's say you're trying to learn Node.js, right? Um, Follow a tutorial that teaches you step by step on how to do it. Once you can do the tutorial, change one small thing, right? For the Hello World application, it would be, I'm going to change my console.log to say, from console.log hello world to console.log hello, it's Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to see what happens. And that small change now makes me realize, oh, if I change the string within console.log, that's
Mm-hmm.
what comes out. That's how your mind makes the connection. Now, the next level would be maybe you want to start up a server.
Mm-hmm.
So you look up how to start up a server, and then you apply that knowledge that you found right away by doing the smallest thing, which
Mm-hmm.
would probably be like installing Express and then, starting up your server on a port, which is like 2, 3 lines of code, but can be a lot for someone who doesn't know anything like
Understand
this.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, so this actually now leads me to the next question, which is we are all different people. Some people like Johnson Mez or Grant Cardone, they are people that they almost seem like they don't need any help and they can just like go through anything, overcome it and everything. But the truth is, not all of us, not everyone can do it by
Mhm.
themselves. Some people they need more help and some people they don't. So my question to you is really like how important you think it is for someone to have like a mentor, like an action coach, for example, like you. How important is it and how you can actually help people?
Yeah, so I think it's extremely important to have a mentor of some sort. Um, I whether it's you find people online like through YouTube, like you follow Telmo, then you learn from Telmo through his videos, or you might need one-on-one help from Telmo, right? That's what the two different ways you can try to pick from the general knowledge they give, or you can ask for one-on-one help. But having someone one-on-one help you guide you through your problems as is the most beneficial thing you can do. And now I've gotten mentors and I've helped mentor other people, and I can see the progress because if your mentor has gone through a very similar situation, a lot of times they don't necessarily talk about it out loud on their channel, or
Mm-hmm.
whoever they've maybe through a book or something, because it might have been so small that they might not have realized it. But through their personal experience, they can give you exactly how they would act in that scenario and give you the best possibility that you would get a good outcome. And having it's like standing on the shoulders of someone else, right? Telmo and I go through our own struggles, right? And if you wanted to get help from either of us, you would now automatically, be ahead of us because we stood here and did all the work. Now you're going to build on top of that. Then you're going to be able to help someone else down the line that also
Exactly.
is doing something similar. And you're going to have your experience and the other person's experience.
Exactly. And this is something that I try to tell people. it's just like having a mentor, actually helping us like overcome like our challenges and everything is just like so important. And that's why I think is important what you are doing, helping people out. And I try to give this example, for example, all the time to people, like if you would have like a millionaire, a guy that knows how to make $1 million now, and he would teach you how you can make $1 million, but he's charging you, like for example, for a 101 $1,000. I would say just take my money, because it's like the best thing that we are doing nowadays is just like invest in ourselves, invest in our knowledge, because knowledge is power. And some people, they just don't understand this. They think that they can do everything by themselves and they don't need to invest anything, and they don't understand how important it is. And that's why I have you in here, like to try to tell people this and to understand really. And what's your opinion on this?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I spent about $3,000 this summer to go to a 2-day YouTube conference where I got to meet a YouTuber who helps other people with their YouTube channels. And if I could tell you
what's
that,
the name, if you don't mind? Or
yeah, Tim Schmoyer
oh yeah,
at Video Creators.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I know this guy.
So I've been watching Tim before that for about a year, and I went to his conference. And in the beginning, I was like, $2,500. That's a lot of money to spend on a 2-day conference. I got to fly to Cincinnati. I got to pay for the hotel room. That's so much. Am I gonna get $2,500 plus everything else out of it? When I tell you that I feel like I got $15,000, $20,000 worth of knowledge just in those 2 days, and I got to sit down and spend time with this person that I've been watching for a year, give me tailored advice on my channel. It was like mind changing. I think I took I have my notebook over here. I think I took like 25 pages, 30 pages of handwritten notes.
Wow.
Those 2 days. I was from morning to night. I was just trying to absorb everything I could. Now, before then, I told you I was scared to spend the $2,500.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
But it's always, always worth it. Every time I've ever spent money on myself, it's always been worth it. It's hard because right now you can't really see the outcome that you can get. You really think that sometimes it's a gimmick, and some of them are. I'm not going to say everyone's perfect, but if you find the right place to spend your money and it's on yourself, that investment is worth more than an investment in a stock or an investment in real estate property or something. Wherever you plan on investing the money, or if you're going to throw it away on like buying a TV or something, definitely spend it on this because it'll be way better.
Exactly. All right, so we are getting to the end of our interview now. Basically, now I just want to ask you if you have anything else to add to the interview that you would like to tell how our viewers go check Antonio's channel, of course. But yeah, if you want to like just give any piece of final advice.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna sum it up in, look, if you want anything, there's always some part of it that you can control. And once you pinpoint the part that you can control, do something about it right away and do something about it every day. This way, you can change your life because that's the only way you can do it. You can't do it by sitting around. You can't do it by reading a book, but reading a book will hopefully help you, get down that path. So, all of you, if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead. It's up to you.
So where people can find you, just let us know.
Yeah, I have my YouTube channel here that I'm sure you have the link to. I also do guest posts on Simple Programmer there, but my main platform, I guess, right now is Instagram. I do live videos there a couple times a week. I do stories almost every day. I try to help people with their problems on the stories, or they'll DM me with their problems, and I'll try to help them that way as well. So you can feel free to DM me on Instagram. I have Twitter and Facebook and stuff. I just don't use those nearly as much as Instagram and YouTube.
All right, cool. Antonio, I think it was a great interview. I think we have a lot of good information, good knowledge for everyone that is watching this. Yeah, thank you so much for coming here today. Was really a pleasure to have you here.
I loved it. Thank you, Tomo. It was an awesome time talking to you.
All right.
I think we resonate a little bit more because I'm also a developer and I understand
Yeah,
some of the
yeah.
struggles.
It was just like really a coincidence now that wow, I didn't know that you were actually a developer as well, because this was one of my questions that I wanted to ask you, like what do you do like before being
Yeah.
a coach? But yeah, it was quite kind of funny. So yeah,
All right.
Antonio, thank you so much, like I said again, for coming. Guys, make sure that if you want to reach out to Antonio, go to his YouTube channel. Is the link is in the description. Antonio is also very active on his Instagram, like he said. And yeah, Antonio, thank you so much, and I'll catch you up next time.
All right. I'll catch you later. See you guys. Thanks for joining in.